Hello and thank you for joining me. This is a follow-up video to the last one, which was about the London mass evacuation plan. I've been researching resilience or preparedness sites that are actually government sites for various councils within the UK, and to be fair, you couldn't make it up. It's a joke. Stay tuned. Police Scotland released an article in 2019 for the grab bag. So they were suggesting that people created a grab bag so that if there was an incident at short notice, they'd have the essentials. Their article suggested that the grab bag contained a pen and a notepad, a phone charger and battery bank, a flashlight, a radio, first aid kit, toiletries, seasonal clothing, food and water, batteries, whistle, an emergency plan. Now, to be fair, the contents list isn't that bad. It covers quite a few essentials and would be pretty useful to pretty much everyone should they have to leave their property, whatever, or their place of work at short notice. The trouble is when the information was released, social media jumped on it, and as usual it turned into a laughing stock and was a butt of jokes. Now, I appreciate that a lot of people, when they're confronted with a fault of something that's serious and potentially life-threatening, that as a coping mechanism, they take the mickey out of it. And I'm also pretty convinced that a lot of the people that were coming back with what they thought was funny comments were probably influencers, either from strange political parties or even from overseas, you know, just to cause disruption, as we know they do. But overall, the idea was pretty good. Now, this has led me onto different preparedness sites that are actually government backed by councils, and two stood out, and that was Staffordshire and also Thurrock Council, which is in Essex. And as I read through them, I couldn't help but think that it was a task that had been passed on from senior government to local government to put something about resilience and preparedness on their websites. And the councils, I can only assume, passed it on to the Office Junior and only provided them with 2 soggy rich tea biscuits and a cup of coffee to write the articles, because they are utter rubbish. I will read out some of the information, I'll put it up on screen and you'll see what I mean. And because they can't be bothered to make it serious and sensible and helpful, that any member of the public that has a concern and has gone there to get advice on what to do in the event of emergency will read it and think, what a crop of beep. And it's just beggars belief. Anyway, I'm gonna put them up on the screen and read the couple of points that actually made me laugh out loud. Stay with me. Thurrock Council and the dimwit that wrote the information for their preparedness section. It's under the heading of a grab bag for your car. It lists a number of items that you will see pretty much now. But the ones that really made me giggle is you should have in your car grab bag a shovel and windscreen wiper. Now, a windscreen wiper is made of metal with a piece of rubber on it. There's usually 2 at the front of your car and sometimes 1 at the rear, and you switch them on and they make sweeping arcs across your windscreen to clear water or snow from the windscreen. So what on earth do you need a windscreen wiper in your grab bag for? Tow chain and rope. I've never ever, in over 30 years of driving, had to use a tow chain. I wouldn't even know where to go and buy a tow chain. Tow rope, yes. What's a tow chain when it's at home? Seriously, Thurrock, you are incompetent. Staffordshire. Stay-at-home kit. Now theirs isn't too bad. It lists quite a few useful things. Then it just gets to the stupid points. So as I say, this is Staffordshire, another bunch of muppets. Stay-at-home kit. Now just remember, I'm going to keep saying it. Stay-at-home kit. So it's items that they recommend you have should you have to stay at home due to an emergency. A blanket or sleeping bag. So you're staying at home, you've got to ignore your bed with your duvet and your fluffy pillows and make sure you've got a blanket or a sleeping bag. And a change of clothes, including a long-sleeved top. So bin your wardrobe, get rid of all your clothes and just make sure you've got one change of clothes and it's a top with long sleeves. You couldn't make this up. And we wonder why we're in such a poor state as a country. We pay substantial amounts every month under the guise of council tax to these councils to provide for us, and they cannot put adequate information on their websites to help anyone that's concerned about what to do in the event of an emergency. If you've got a spare half an hour and you're bored and you want to upset them, please visit your local council's website. If you can't view their disaster or preparedness section, email them and tell them what a bunch of wallies they really are. Needless to say, very soon my next videos will cover a grab bag as suggested by the government and a bug out bag. Both, I hope, would be sensible. It will not involve 3 axes, 6 knives and everything else that some people seem to think they need. Sorry it's turned into a bit of a rant, but these are the councils and parts of the government that are ruling our country, and they are about as useful as a chocolate teapot. If you found the video entertaining, please hit the like button, consider subscribing, and I'd love to read your comments. Stay safe, because those buggers are going to do nothing for you. Thank you.